My name is Liam, and this is the story of the girl who loved me long before I ever noticed her. People say true love always finds a way. I didn't believe that, until a stack of handwritten letters changed my life forever. 10 years ago, I started my first job as a photographer at a local newspaper. I was shy, quiet, and completely focused on my career. Relationships were the last thing on my mind. Then, on Valentine's Day, something unusual happened. When I arrived at my desk, I found a small white envelope. There was no name, no address, just 4 handwritten words. Someone believes in you. Inside was a short letter. You work harder than anyone else in this office. I hope one day you realize how amazing you are. I looked around. Everyone seemed busy. No one admitted writing it. I smiled and slipped the letter into my wallet. The following year, another Valentine's Day, another anonymous letter. This one read, "Don't lose your smile. The world looks brighter when you do." Again, no name, no clue. This continued every year. 5 letters, then 6, then 7. Each one encouraged me during difficult times. When my mother became sick, a letter arrived saying, "Even the longest storm eventually ends. Don't give up." Whoever was writing them somehow always knew exactly what I needed to hear. I searched for years. I asked my coworkers, my friends, even the office receptionist. Nobody knew anything. Eventually, I accepted that I'd probably never discover the truth. Life moved on. I changed jobs, moved to another city. But every Valentine's Day, a letter still arrived. Always handwritten, always unsigned. Then, on the 10th Valentine's Day, there was something different. Instead of a letter, there was a train ticket. On the back, someone had written, "If you've ever wondered who I am, meet me at platform 3, 5 p.m. My heart raced. At exactly 5 o'clock, I stood on the platform holding all 10 letters. Minutes passed. Then I saw a woman walking toward me. She looked familiar. Very familiar. It was Sarah, the quiet girl from my first office. We had worked together for almost 3 years. She smiled nervously. "You finally came." I laughed softly. "It was you." She nodded. "I never had the courage to tell you how I felt. So I wrote letters instead." I looked at the stack in my hands. For 10 years. She smiled. Every single one. I couldn't believe it. "Why didn't you ever tell me?" She looked down. "Because loving someone doesn't mean expecting them to love you back. I was just happy knowing my words made your difficult days a little easier." For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then I asked the question that had been in my heart for years. "Why today?" She smiled through tears. "Because after 10 years, I thought I'd regret staying silent more than I'd regret being rejected." I took one step closer, then another. I reached into my wallet and pulled out the very first letter. "I've carried this with me for 10 years. She looked surprised. It reminded me to believe in myself whenever life became difficult. I smiled. "You've been part of my life much longer than you realized." She whispered, "So, what happens now?" I gently took her hand. "I think it's finally my turn to write the next chapter." 2 years later, we got married. At our wedding, Sarah gave me one final envelope. Inside was a single sentence. "This is the last anonymous letter you'll ever receive. Because from now on, I'll tell you I love you in person." I laughed. Then I cried. Because sometimes, love isn't loud. It doesn't arrive with fireworks or grand speeches. Sometimes, it quietly waits, one letter at a time. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to English Story Today. Because sometimes, the greatest love story begins with words written by a heart too shy to speak.